How's it going out there in YouTube land, YouTubers? Stubborn Shark here with another new movie review for you. So let's get right into this review and see what I saw. So last Thursday, I got the chance of going to see a new movie that I've been actually waiting to see for a couple weeks, and I finally got to see it with my good friend Christoph, and it was just a really interesting and really well developed film. And that is the film Red Sparrow. Now, Red Sparrow is this awesome spy thriller slash kind of action-packed type of drama film. And it's got a lot of great elements to it, lots of great interesting things, and just really well cast and well directed. Now, this great film was directed by a gentleman that has directed a couple other great films that were considered big successful hits and just are really good films in themselves. And that is Mr. Francis Lawrence. Now, Francis Lawrence has also directed, like I said, a few other great films that I really enjoyed and thought were really good films. Now, one of them happens to be a 2005 film that starred Keanu Reeves, where he plays a comic book character that is made by DC, and that is the film Constantine. Now, Constantine is just a really awesome, excellent comic-based movie. I thought Keanu Reeves was awesome as Constantine. I love Shia LaBeouf's character in it. Peter Stormare was in it. He was really awesome. Tilda Swinton. Everyone involved in it. Rachel Weisz was just really super cool. And the movie itself was just really super intense and just really well directed, I felt. I felt Francis did a really good job in making it and really bringing to life, from the comics to the big screen about Constantine in his first really big picture, role. I mean, Fox did end up doing a TV series of Constantine that only lasted a season, but still at the same time, Constantine is such an awesome, cool DC character, and I thought Francis did a really good job of giving us what we were kind of wanting to look for and kind of giving us an idea of what Constantine can be, and I thought he did a really good job of directing that. Another film that he directed that is also loosely based on another film, not on the same name, but the same similarity of what's going on in the film. And that is the film I Am Legend. Now, this Will Smith movie is a really cool, like I said, remake slash kind of alternate version of original story that was made into a movie years ago with Charlton Heston. Now, this awesome film, though, was just really well directed by him again. He brought us a whole new type of version of apocalyptic, disaster. One person really being the only survivor, him having to deal with, finding food and living day to day with all these zombies and stuff like that around. And basically, just being the last man around. And I just thought he did a beautiful, remake slash kind of reboot to this awesome type of story. And he just did a really good job of directing Will Smith, making some really great action sequences, making some really good, dramatic scenes, and he just did a really good job with that film. I was really impressed with it. I saw that actually in theaters, and I remember just coming out of it going, wow, this was a really excellent film. And just remember going, I was actually entertained by this. I'm really glad they made, a remake of this movie, because I thought the original one with Charlton Heston was excellent, too, as well. And just, I thought that they did a really good job in giving, a newer age of audience a new image or a new look at this type of story. And I thought that was really cool. And I thought Francis did a really good job of directing it. With Red Sparrow, I thought Francis did an amazing job. He brought a really awesome spy thriller to this day with some interesting elements. Definitely a really interesting story. You don't know what's going on. You from start to finish, you have no idea what Jennifer Lawrence's real agenda is, or what's going to happen, what she was going to do, what she did to influence what she did, and it just was a really, really awesome spy thriller. He just did a magically beautiful job with the film. He made it very interesting, kept my attention the whole time. He brought a lot of great flavor to the film and gave it an interesting aspect to a different type of spy thriller. I mean, it's kind of like a mixture of different spy movies all in one. And I just thought he did a really good directing, in directing this film, giving us an interesting and different plot and giving us something new and exciting to see. And he did a really good job with that. He really made a fantastic film, and everyone involved just did a really good job of bringing his, image, his his vision to life, basically, and giving us, this awesome and excellent spy thriller. Did a really good job. So this movie has a really good cast. I mean, lots of great actors and actresses, that have done lots of great stuff. Now, this movie's main, heroine kind of antagonist is none other than Miss Jennifer Lawrence. Now, Jennifer Lawrence, we all recognize for such, film series like the X-Men prequel series, the Hunger Games, and so forth. But a couple films that I thought she was decent in and thought were interesting films were such films as the semi-biographical film that came out in 2015 called Joy. Now, Joy is kind of loosely based on the lady that created the Wonder Mop, and that was on QVC, before it was really big and QVC was big. And the story itself was very interesting. I thought Jennifer Lawrence did a really good job of portraying that, person, her character, and what she had to deal with and stuff like that. And it definitely kept my interest through the whole movie, just because Jennifer Lawrence was so good at it. And she really did a good job in that film. I thought she did really, even a better job than Silver Linings Playbook, I feel. She was more intense in that film, and I just really enjoyed the whole aspect of what that lady had to go through. Even though not all of it, what was put in the movie was true, still, I mean, the basics of it were still very interesting, and it made it an interesting film. Another awesome film that she was in that I really enjoyed and thought was just a fantastic film, and that was just a really well done film. Another one directed by David O. Russell, and that is the film American Hustle. Now, American Hustle, we all know, had a huge cast as well, along with Jennifer Lawrence in it. And I thought Jennifer Lawrence was really intense in that film as well. She was just really cool, really kind of like seductive, but at the same time, she was like very, smart. And you could see her wheels turning in her brain when she was thinking and concocting things. And just the character itself was just really superb. And I can see why she got nominated for an Oscar for that role too. She was really fantastic in it. She did a really great job, made it a very interesting role. She played so well off of Amy Adams and, once again, people that were involved with Silver Linings Playbook. You had Christian Bale in it. You had Bradley Cooper. Just everyone meshed really well together in that film. And I thought Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Adams' characters were so good together, and just their chemistry in the film made her character even more fun to watch. So I thought, Jennifer Lawrence, this definitely was one of her best roles, I feel, besides Silver Lining Playbook and Passengers, and just she did a really good job in this film, made it very interesting. But in Red Sparrow, I thought that Jennifer Lawrence was decent. The accent could have been a little better. I thought it was okay, but the character itself was very intriguing, and Jennifer Lawrence's portrayal of it was very different and gave it a whole new meaning, because her whole thoughts behind it are she didn't want to learn the Red Sparrow thing, but at the same time she did it because her uncle helped her, and she was doing it as like a favor, and she wanted a little bit of this too, to learn this stuff so that it could benefit her. So I mean, you could see that in Jennifer Lawrence's performance, that she was thinking this whole time through the whole film and concocting what she was going to concoct and stuff like that. And it was very interesting, and definitely she did a decent job. Definitely, interesting that she did so much nudity in the film, and it was, kind of funny that this kind of role was very, sexual role. And she still did, a really good job with it. She seemed very professional about it and seemed very, just easy with it. Like, it was naturally flowing. And you could see that in her performance. And she did a really good job. We also have in the film another awesome actor that has been around for a little while and has played so many different and, way different characters in different movies that he's been in. And that is none other than Mr. Joel Edgerton. Now, Joel Edgerton, like I said, has been in a slew of different movies, and, small character roles and big character roles, being the feature character and stuff like that. But a couple of films that I really thought he was fantastic in were such films as his directorial debut as well, along with starring with Jason Bateman, and that is the film The Gift, which I thought he played a really good evil bad guy in that film. He was just really intense, and I thought that his acting and then his directing ability with the film really panned out very well. And it was a very cohesive and very flowing film. And I thought that his direction with the film and his acting all pushed it in just the right direction and brought out this great story and this great kind of like revenge story. And I thought that was really fantastic, and I thought it was a very good, directorial debut for somebody. And he did a fantastic job with that film. Another awesome film that he was in that I really enjoyed was a awesome based on true story film that starred the awesome Johnny Depp. And that is the film none other than Black Mass, which is just a really intense and awesome film about, Whitey Bulger, and kind of, just kind of giving him a whole idea. And Joel Edgerton's character in the film, he plays the FBI agent that's kind of like on Whitey's side. And he just did a fantastic job of playing that character, bringing him to life, showing us, what he possibly could have done for Whitey all those years, and just, what he had to do to kind of get to where he was at the end of the movie, and, his relationship with Whitey, and all that kind of stuff. He just did a really good job. I thought he was very fantastic in that film. He should have got an Oscar nom for that role. He was just so good. Just an all-around, really well-rounded, character and role. And he did a really good job. Really enjoyed it. But in Red Sparrow, Joel Edgerton was really awesome as well. I really enjoyed his character. Thought it was a very kind of similar to some of the characters he played, but different to the characters he's played. It definitely was a more of a role reversal in this film, because they kind of made it where, majority of the films usually, they're very sexist, what they say, meaning that the men get a lot of more, in-depth versus the women. Well, in this one, I felt that it was the complete opposite, in that, he was kind of like, stay there, you're the bitch this time, you know what I mean? It was, I felt like his character was kind of droned down to be more submissive. And I thought that was quite interesting that they decided to go with that kind of ploy, because he was kind of like a little bit, in a way, a little sissy-ish in the film. Like, he wasn't such a man, And I thought that was kind of interesting that that's how his character made me feel. And definitely I felt, that, Joel Edgerton's portrayal was very different than, like I said, some of his roles that he's done before, even though it was similar too. But at the same time, I just thought it was a very interesting and different perspective of that character, and gave us a whole new light into a different type of version of that storyline caliber. I thought it was very interesting, definitely. And I definitely thought that he did a really good job. Joel Edgerton did an amazing job with that role and did a really interesting thing. Another awesome actress that's in this film that has been, in a slew of films during the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, had a hit show on Showtime and just has been around, and is a kind of funny actress, kind of comedian, and she has had some really good roles in the past. And that is Miss Mary Louise Parker. Now, Mary Louise Parker, of course, a lot of people recognize her from Weeds, of course. But she's actually been in quite a few other great films. A couple of films that I really enjoyed her in were such films as the awesome 2015 film with Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges. And that is the film R.I.P.D., which was a really awesome, sci-fi / bringing comic book to life movie, which starred Kevin Bacon as well. I thought she was really awesome as kind of like the office boss of the RAPD, and I thought that she was super hilarious in it. Very kind of stickler type of character, very, kind of just bland, and kind of that type of comedian or humor that's very deadpan, and I love that about it. I thought it was so super funny, because she was pretty much serious the whole time, but at the same time, you're trying to get her to crack a smile or to laugh, and that character was yeah, it was so super funny, and I really enjoyed her in it. Thought she did a fantastic job in the film, and she was super hilarious. Another great film that she was in that I thought was really fantastic and fun was a awesome series that they've made. They've made 2 films so far that stars Bruce Willis, John Malkovich, and a whole bunch of other slew of awesome characters and actors. And that is the film series Red. Now, Red, I just think she was absolutely fantastic in too as well. I thought she was super funny. Loved her kind of weird antics in the film and how she's kind of crazy and wobblehead. and I just thought she was super hilarious in it. Some of her, like, one-liners and some of the lines she say in the film are just so super funny. And I thought that her real good comedic aspects came out in those films, and that she just did a really good job of playing that character. And I thought she worked really well with Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, Helen Mirren, John Malkovich, and they all meshed really well together and made a really funny, series so far, and just were super funny. Really good chemistry, I felt, and I thought that Murray Louise did a really funny job in those films, and just, made you laugh, made you very entertained, and I just think she did a really good job with that. But her role in Red Sparrow wasn't super huge, but at the same time it was a very awesome kind of role, though, because she was kind of comedic in the role, but at the same time she was kind of like, I'm doing this to make some money, and like she just was like kind of just, I don't know, really Mary Louise Parkerish, kind of like her character in Weeds. And I thought she was really silly and funny in it and just did a really good job. I really liked some of her lines and just how she acted, how she was like pretty much drunk the whole time, in her scenes. And she was a really good character, like side character that they included in the film that just made the, movie more entertaining and more enjoyable. And I really enjoyed her in it. I thought she did a really good job. To round out this awesome cast, we have none other than Academy Award winner himself. That is just an amazing actor, one of the best around. Just love everything he's in. I think he's just a fantastic actor in general and just kicks butt. And that is Mr. Jeremy Irons. Now, Jeremy Irons we recognize from a slew of films such as like Lolita or Die Hard with a Vengeance, or as Alfred in the newer superhero DC movies like Batman vs. Superman and Justice League. But a couple films I really enjoyed him in and thought he was really fantastic in, and thought he needs more recognition for these roles because I think there's some really good roles. One of those films happens to be an all-star cast film from 1997, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, and that is the film The Man with the Iron Mask, which is a really fantastic and fun film. Thought he was super cool in it, super awesome. Thought he did a really good job. He plays, one of the characters, the priest, really fantastically. When I look at that character, I see Jeremy Irons every time because I thought he did the best performance of it all. I thought he did an excellent job and just made the film very, very good and just made it a really decent Man in the Iron Mask film. Because, this story has been retold many, many times over the years, and I just thought that was a really decent adaptation of it. And everyone that was in it was really fantastic. Gabriel Byrne, you had Gerard Depardieu. Just a really well-rounded cast, and Jeremy Irons was just fantastic in it. I really loved his character. Probably one of his best roles, I feel, and he just did an amazing job. Another great movie that Jeremy Irons was in, and it wasn't a huge part, but it was just the small part that he had was fantastic in this film. And that is the film Pink Panther 2, which I thought was a fantastic and funny comedy film with Steve Martin. But Jeremy Irons' small role in that film was just so hilarious. I can never get that scene out of my mind that he's in, and where he's just so super awesome and super excellent. And he was so perfect in the role, just his suaveness and just his characterization of the character, and just he really put an impression on my mind of how good of an actor he was just in that small little role. And I just thought it was super hilarious that they got him in the film to begin with and just did a really fantastic job. He was awesome in this film, and I really, really thought he was fantastic in that small role and was perfect. And I definitely think that if you haven't seen Pink Panther 2, watch it specifically just for that, so you can see Jeremy Irons, because it's just, he's that role and that scene and the lines he has are just super hilarious and so funny. Just a really great role and a really great movie, I feel. But in Red Sparrow, I thought that Jeremy Irons was really excellent again. Super superb. Brought it to the T again, once again. Really brought together his character, brought him to life. Gave us a whole new meaning of, who we don't know who he is. He did a fantastic job of keeping his secret, and you didn't really know who he really was, and that he actually was a specific person throughout the whole movie that you don't know. He just did a really awesome job. Really excellent, really good, just a really cool character too. Jeremy played him to the T again. Once again, he worked so well with everyone involved. Him in a couple scenes with Jennifer Lawrence are just amazing, and just a really well-rounded character, and he did an amazing job. Really well done. So if you're not familiar with what Red Sparrow is about, basically what the premise of the story is Jennifer Lawrence's character is actually a ballerina who gets injured. And basically she ends up finding out that her injury that happens was actually staged by her partner who was having an affair with somebody else. And she basically goes and like kills them. And when that happens, she turns to her uncle for help to cover it up. And in order to do that, she has to become this character called a Red Sparrow. And basically the rest of the movie is about her training and then her going on this assignment that involves Joel Edgerton and Jeremy Irons. And basically, you know, the rest of the film is about what she really has in plan to get her out of the situation she is in because of that ordeal. It's a really awesome spy thriller, really good. It keeps you guessing till the end. No little tidbits at the beginning of the movie that will give anything away. I think they did an amazing job. Very well written, very well done. Directing, acting, everyone involved was just really good. Really fantastic film. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on this one. Was really impressed. I thought definitely it could have been better a little bit in certain aspects with the action sequences. Most definitely there, but in a whole, I think it's a really fantastic film, and I give it 10 golden movie boxes up. Very, very fun. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's in theaters now. Really fun. Definitely check it out. It's an interesting film. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And as always, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or if you've been here before and you've seen my videos, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss one of these awesome videos I do. And of course, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, please check out that awesome link down below about the awesome horror pack. Now, if you're not familiar with what Horror Pack is, it's a subscription service that comes to your door, just like Loot Crate or any of those types of boxes, where you get 4 DVDs or Blu-rays of horror films, randomly selected. And also, each box comes with a limited edition that you can't get anywhere else. So if you're a big collector and you like that stuff, definitely check it out, people. And if you're interested in signing up, or if you are going to sign up, let me know down in the comments so I can hook you up with a discount. And as always, check out also my awesome link down below about the awesome Stardust app. Now, download it, put it onto your phone, and check out these awesome 3 to 30 second little reviews of movies. It's so much fun, so awesome, people. Definitely check it out. It's totally worth it. It's a free app on the, Google Store or the Apple Store. It's just really fun. And if you do end up, downloading it and checking it out, look me up, Cybernetic Shark as well. And as always, catch you in the next one.